Thank you all for joining us here today to honor veterans on this beautiful Veterans Day. We couldn't have asked for better weather, could we? Special thanks to Representative Paul Evans, Stacey Jochimson for representing Senator Jeff Merkley, and to Leah Lutz, the granddaughter of Oregon's World War I Medal of Honor recipient, Edward Allworth, for whom one of our state veterans' homes is named. On November 11, 1918, the U.S. State Department sent a very simple 5-word telegram. It read, "The armistice has been signed." The armistice, signed by leaders of the German government and Allied forces, marked the formal end of hostilities in the global military conflict that we now know as World War I. It was supposed to be the war to end all wars, except it didn't. In the century that would follow, time and again, the call to arms would come. American values and our American way of life would need defenders. The world would need our strength. America would need its soldiers. And time again, brave men and women would answer the call, whatever the cost. And so we are here to celebrate and give thanks for an armistice which was signed 100 years ago today on a train car in the snowy forest of Compiègne in northern France, and for the veterans of the Great War, as it was then called. But we are also here to celebrate and give thanks to the veterans who came after. World War I service members that survived the battlefields in Europe did not come home to a robust system of veterans' health care and benefits as we have today. They were hailed as heroes and thanked for their service, but expected to reintegrate smoothly and get on with their lives. We now know that although many veterans gain strength from military service, it's not surprising that those who have borne the battle may also face challenges in returning to civilian life. Sadly, 100 years ago, the struggles faced by many returning World War I veterans were not adequately addressed and were largely hidden from view by most of society. They were not, however, hidden from the view of their fellow veterans. Those veterans vowed that no generation after them would have to weather the challenges unique to post-service life without support and resources. They banded together in service organizations like the American Legion, which was founded in the aftermath of World War I, and they advocated for the nationwide support that we have today. When global war again broke out a generation later, and when America's brave servicemen and women again returned home from that battlefield associated with World War II, forever changed by their service and sacrifices, the veterans of World War I and the services they had put to place were there to assist. Here in Oregon, veterans insisted upon the formation of a veteran home and farm loan program, which helped provide stable housing for thousands of returning service members. In fact, many other states created programs based on that Oregon model. Oregon also created, through its legislature, a Soldiers and Sailors Commission to assist World War I veterans and their families. This also led directly to the founding of the Oregon Department of Veterans Affairs, of which I am now privileged to serve as the director. Today, the Oregon Department of Veterans Affairs strives to honor and serve a diverse population of more than 300,000 veterans spanning 4 generations, and we work with a broad coalition of federal, state, and local partners, including government agencies, nonprofits, service organizations, and veteran service offices. Veterans in our state today can access vital and life-changing benefits, programs, and resources in the areas of healthcare, education, mental health, and a strong array of other services. This is not to say that our work is done, not by a long shot. The need is great and ever growing. But so is our network of dedicated partners and service members, and so is our resolve to accomplish the vital mission to see all veterans and their families thrive in Oregon. Last year, Oregonians demonstrated their support for veterans by voting overwhelmingly to approve Measure 96, which allowed the legislature to make a historic investment in veteran services. Today, more Oregon veterans than ever before can access needed benefits and services in their own communities. But we must also look back to appreciate and learn from our history. We as a country owe the World War I generation a great debt. They fought to protect our lives, to safeguard our freedoms, and to preserve our way of life. And most importantly, they paved the way for today's veterans to receive the assistance they need when their military service has come to an end. The common connection across the eras is our timeless mission to better serve, honor, and celebrate all veterans and their families. Together, we must and shall continue to help Oregon veterans and their families thrive. This might well be the best way we can all honor our veterans today and every day. Thank you.